before you drowned in the first place. They just before who called the 911 call after telling somebody to call the 911 call. But who was that one that told them to call the 911 call? Don't nobody know who that is. See what I'm saying?
Once again, when you got people that stuck up the law and they run this shit, they can get away with anything, right?
And that's anything right there that we about to see right now with this shit here, dog. Because like I said again, when nobody can tell you who started the fucking story, who told the lady to call 911 for the person that's drowning, something ain't right. Something ain't right. If the person that said a motherfucker drowning, you can't find the motherfucker that said the shit, that told the person to call 911, how the FBI can't find this motherfucker?
Right.
He was swimming with him.
Right. You see that blue line?
The what?
It's nonsensical. Let me just say straight to you, President Biden, I pray for your soul. Just repent from your posturing and your lack of integrity and your lack of compassion.
When you're the president of the United States of America, you have to know what's going on. You know, you got all these people that surround, supposed to be advising you what's going on. For you to say something like, no comment, I don't know, I can't even respond to such a comment.
We have the largest Marine base in the world, the largest Navy fleet right there. Right there, we can see the island. They could have been here in 12 hours.
Yep.
I think that if he wanted to, the President of the United States or one of his chiefs of staff could order military assistance from Pearl Harbor and the U.S. Pacific Fleet.
Yep.
No question they could have done that. They did it pretty
Easily.
way
Easily.
quicker than the response here in Hawaii.
Easily. Easily. And I didn't know they did something in Japan when Japan had that remember when the nuclear thing happened? Nigga, they was in Japan that same day, man. Now, them people, they're bitching about how long it took him to come to a place right here on soil. Damn, that's messed up right there. That goes to show you that they don't give a fuck. They do the fuck what they want to do, dog. My daddy, boy, my daddy something.
Let's go on.
Are your electric vehicles more green than your gas-powered cars? You may need to think twice about that after listening to this upcoming interview. Recently, I sat down with Siddharth Kara. He's the author of Cobalt Red, How the Blood of the Congo Powers Our Lives. This is a best-selling book from this year, but it is not a feel-good book. He exposes how the EV revolution is destroying the lives of cobalt miners in the Congo, and it's absolutely awful. And terrifying. So I hope you enjoy this interview. It's eye-opening. Let me know what you think of it, and let me know what you think if you've had a chance to read this book. It's something that we all need to be cognizant of as we continue to promote green policies that have a consequence that maybe we don't think about. Watch and see what you think. Well, my guest today is Siddharth Kara. He's the author of a new book called Cobalt Red, How the Blood of the Congo Powers Our Lives. It is a bestseller, but I warn you, it is not a feel-good book. He has gone to great lengths to expose how many of us are dependent on cobalt, the mining of cobalt, which runs every rechargeable device that probably you have in your home, and how many human lives are destroyed by this from Congo. So thank you so much for joining me. I've really been looking forward to talking to you.
It's my pleasure to join you for the conversation. Thank you.
So can you summarize your findings about all of the slave labor that goes on in the Congo and how so much of it is kept from us, and just maybe give us a snapshot of how devastating it is for these human lives?
Well, the summary is this. Right now, there is an enormous invasion of the human rights of the people in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, as well as massive environmental destruction and toxic contamination relating to the mining of cobalt. Now, the reason this is important, as you mentioned in your remarks, cobalt is used in the manufacture of almost every lithium-ion rechargeable battery used in the world today. So every smartphone, tablet, laptop, and crucially, almost every electric vehicle, and about 3/4 of the world's supply of cobalt is mined in the Congo in utterly destructive, hazardous, miserable conditions that almost feel like we're back in colonial times.
And so some of the things that you point out are not just exploitation of women, because these are cultures where women are regularly assaulted, not just exploitation of children, but also slave labor, where these children are basically forced into working for these, what do you call them, the guy you call Zeus in the book?
Negotiation.
Okay.
There's soldiers, there's traders, there's militia, there's Republican Guard, and there's a whole array of people who are using violence to coerce the local population, including children, to get cobalt out of the ground. And the reason for this is there's just this feverish scramble. There's so much demand at the top of the chain by tech companies and electric vehicle manufacturers. And as we said, almost all the cobalt comes from the Congo. So there's this enormous fever, this rush, this scramble to get cobalt out of the ground as quickly as possible through whatever means possible. Everyone up the chain, from the companies at the top all the way down to a crazy soldier on the ground, they're all preying on this population of people who are so poor and vulnerable, and who we can't live without, because you and I can't function for 24 hours without cobalt. So we rely on all this violence and misery and suffering in order to conduct our daily lives.
Right, so it's incumbent on us to not be willfully ignorant about it. When I mentioned to my husband that I was reading this book, he says, oh, no, I've read the Apple press releases. He's a fanboy. He's like, no, they say they only use sustainable and humanitarian practices. But you point out how they can say this with plausible deniability because of these
They can
depots,
lie when they want to.
these middlemen where they buy from the depots, and then they don't have to see the rest of it. Can you explain that?
Yeah, there's a bit of a shell game that's happening that allows companies at the top of the chain to say, well, I'm buying from ABC Mining Company, and ABC Mining Company tells me that there's no child labor in their supply chain, and they're using sustainable practices. And the reality is, when you actually get on the ground in the Congo, you see none of that is true. It's all marketing, it's all puffery and PR. ABC Mining Company, all the mining companies, there are children digging inside those mines. They're there as plain as day for anyone to see, including the CEOs of these companies, if they bother to go down to the Congo to see where the cobalt is coming from. Those companies have clear-cut millions of trees, polluted the water, filled the dirt with toxic contaminants. But at the top of the chain, the story is everything's done sustainably. Don't worry, look the other way, carry on upgrading your phone every year, carry on with your gadgets and cars. So there's this disconnect between the stories told by the marketing teams in corporate America, in the global north, and the reality that the people in the Congo reveal. And that's what the purpose of Cobalt Red is to bring those voices and that ground truth out into a world that has no idea what's happening.
One of the things that was haunting is
Yeah, we go back to
no
you got the
real
phones again, Mom.
engineering there to say we're going to engineer some tunnels and then we can go down and safely mine cobalt. So they just willy-nilly dig them, and then regularly people die in tunnel collapses.
That's the scrambling. You see, there's no other way for people there to survive.
Yeah.
You might say, oh, can't they grow some onions or find some small business? Big mining companies have swallowed up the entire countryside. They get leased these enormous swaths of countryside to extract copper and cobalt, nickel,
this is
that are used
crazy.
in the
I
batteries.
was trying to
Now,
call you
when
on my
I say
other phone,
large
you
swath of
wasn't acting right.
countryside, the largest mining concession in that part of the Congo, meaning the territory they're allowed to rip apart for
crazy,
copper and cobalt, is the size of
I'm
London.
getting to the point now where it's just like, shit, what I'm paying for? What you eat today, young lady? I said, what you ate today, young lady? Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. They're always talking about, I'm losing weight, but don't even eat. I see you always talking about, I'm losing weight, but don't even eat. Definitely. Oh yeah. Right. And you starting to realize now that they have fixing anything that you're getting to you paying for now because nobody ain't holding them accountable for not fixing something. Do that like you're doing right now, yeah. But that's just it. If you can hold them accountable while you're getting your shit done, you're not going to get it. If you don't want your shit after you tell them to get the fuck on because they're doing shit wrong, you don't want nothing from after that. So you think it was bad before you did that done. It got worse after you got finished talking about it. It ain't gonna be the same once you get it. It was Tuesday already. And it's almost gone. Yeah, boy. Like we're gonna be doing these little, I guess they call them little homes, the one bedroom homes and shit. I said, shoot, I took about 4 of them bad boys down to some reunion insurance. No, it was they were manufacturing them, and they were saying, how long it takes to, it cost $30,000 a piece. Yeah, some that was 90,000. You already know I ain't trying to get 30,000. I'm trying to get finance. Yeah, they made, they got the truck service that's gonna drop them off and everything. Alright. It's I don't know where it's at. This is insurance agent. Make it feel the third kind of way? I think that would make it feel the third kind of way. Yeah, boy, mom was speaking out about her son, man. The chef. Obama chef. Oh, that's pretty cool, man. I thought you knew about these guys. Obama chef. Yeah, he died. He got murdered. Yeah, that's what they said. So he murdered. How I know he was murdered? Alright, they say that he was drunk, right? And then they showed him doing the backstroke and everything in the gym. But anyway, and he died in 8 foot of water when 2 foot of water was right at his hand. He could have easily crawled over to 2 foot. You see? So they saying nobody knows who the woman is that laid up there and told the other lady, because she ain't saying nothing, to call 911. Who was the person in the water with the dude when the dude went under? Nobody don't know. And then Obama wasn't home, was supposed to be at home, that's what they said at first. Come to find out that Obama was home when the dude drowned. It all over. Don't say the other bullshit was having in Hawaii. I feel sorry for you. Man, that ain't cool at all. They said Joe Biden was in China when that the typhoon, what was the typhoon? Whatever that was that made that reactor. I'm trying to think of how that shit went. Remember when the reactor got flooded in China and all that pollution happened? Well, anyway, Joe Biden was there the next day. And then when 3 or 4 days, she can talk about 9. And not only that, when they asked him about it, he said no comment. Man, you ain't no pushing him. Oh, there, I people get all this shit what they doing down Trump will make the people tired. Right? Because they can see the 2-tier justice. But really a 4-tier justice. Because this system would never meant for me any motherfucker with my color. It was always meant to hold my color down. And then it got to the point where if you got money, you can navigate through it. Do you know my phone just not saying that I got a message from you? Man, that's crazy. And I remember I was hearing you say something, but the phone was black. Yeah, because like I said again, it was off. Yeah, because it couldn't. Yeah, because I'm laughing now because this phone broke. I dropped it yesterday. And when it did that day, I was like, you were here with the government here, the one you're on now. Yeah. And now it's doing some ringing shit now, and I don't know what that is either. Oh, and what I'm going to send you right there before I send you the thing home is a lot of people don't know about dealing without cell phones. I ain't know this. When you see how these cell phone pieces are being mined, you're going to be like, man, I'd rather go back to regular cell telephone. How the parts that goes in the phone are being mined in this. Meaning how it's coming out the ground. Look at this, I'd rather go up to the mine line phone. And you got women with children, babies now, digging shit out the ground. And it's called hold on.
Now, you and I can't get on the ground and solve the problems, but we can spread awareness. And this is how social change happens. First, a horror is revealed by truth seekers. Then people spread that truth all around the world, and inevitably, every time throughout history, when the world learns of a horror, there's a community conscience.
Cobo. That's what goes into the cell phone in order for them to work. That's what goes into the Cobo. It's a mineral that comes out the earth. And you gotta dig for it. And I mean, you got people doing it with hands and shit, okay? It's a real definite country.
Well, I appreciate that you have done this. This is something I had no awareness about, and I do recommend your book. Like I said, it's maybe not a beach read that's going to be fun, but it's really well organized, and I think it's got an amazing commitment to telling the story that otherwise was not told. So thank you so much for talking with me today.
Thank you so much for inviting me to speak with you. Thank you so much for watching this segment here at
Yeah, I got it. I'm about to make sure that's what you said it right. I think you said it right. Yeah, there you go. You have the convo. That's it. That's the convo. Yeah. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah. So the niggas gonna be thinking up something. They don't do without me. Kill us or whatever, huh?
And it says the water that these people in is contaminated to the point where their feet start falling off and shit. This shit bad. It's bad. It just goes straight. And you just reading, you ain't getting to see it. I got to see it.
Right.
Yeah, man. All about greed. There's so much going on behind closed doors that nobody knows about. Because like I said again, it's all being kept away from you because they already know that the truth will set you free and they don't want you free from being they fucking slaves.
Of Barack Obama's personal chef, Tafari Campbell. Reports recently appeared that Tafari was writing a tell-all book before he drowned last month. Tafari drowned while paddleboarding near the Obama family's home on Martha's Vineyard. While the police have labeled Tafari's death as an accident, reports emerged on social media that Tafari was writing a bombshell book before he died, leading many to wonder if someone wanted to silence him. Also, just weeks before Tafari died, Obama's old letters resurfaced in which he admitted to fantasizing about sleeping with men. Many are now wondering if Tafari knew Obama's other secrets. So, what really happened to Tafari Campbell? Why are so many people saying his death was not an accident? Let's break it down. We're seeing images of the Obama family chef who died on Martha's Vineyard. His body was found near a pond near the Obama home after a paddleboarding trip. Tafari Campbell, a 45-year-old father of two and former White House chef.
I got one for you. You know like I know. Anybody dealing with Obama gonna have what? Secret Service somewhere around. Right, wrong? So therefore, when the people said that they saw him drowning, they say that he was fighting the water. I already know what fighting the water looked like when you been killed. Meaning, they done showed this shit on enough TV to show that you can't swim to the top of somebody putting your legs down and wearing a scuba outfit. It's gonna look just like, look, you drowning. You see? And then the boy was getting ready to write a book or tell all, and now we already know that, what her name is, Joan Rivers was getting ready to go do her a comedy show tour, and ready to go get her the Botox and end up dead. See what I'm saying? So like I said, you people ain't playing. And come to find out too, I burn ain't no motherfucking citizen of the United States of America. And you can't never become president unless you're a citizen of the United States of America. This boy was put into office out of nowhere. Because all I know is there was an election coming up and next thing you know they had a black dude. I want to know where was the leading up to a black dude being in this shit. Do you remember when that happened? Or do you just remember Obama just popping up being president? Are they talking about it first before he became president? Because I want to know where he was when he was supposed to be in law school and doing all this other shit. You ain't hear nothing about that dude. Why? But I'm saying you ain't hear nothing about what he was until he became president. And what's coming out now was he was one of those things. He was just a plant that they put in there, him and Michelle. Because in order to get the twist as twisted up as they wanted it to be twisted, they had to get some nigga to come in and say same-sex marriage is okay with another nigga. Because that same-sex marriage shit had been on the table too many years and nobody fuck with it. And here we got a nigga come on there with a supposed to be the nuclear family. Come on, shit. And he come on there and saying the bullshit about love who you with, bullshit. Natural order, live in and live by. And two men getting busy and two women getting busy and saying the shit out there for the fucking time. Yeah, that boy better tell all. So think about it, if you the chef, personal chef, living in the house, you can't tell me you ain't seen and heard some shit. Can't tell me you ain't hear and you ain't see and hear some shit. I know I wouldn't either. But you already know how this shit goes. Intelligence, baby girl, intelligence. Nigga, you getting your secrets from the intelligence inside scoop, means inside this man's house. You think you ain't got no investigators watching your motherfucking ass and make sure you don't come out with some bullshit on him? You talking about the motherfucker over the free world. Shit. Top fucking dog criminal.
For Barack and Michelle Obama had been identified as the man found dead on July 23rd in Edgartown, Great Pond near the Obama's Martha's Vineyard property. According to the Daily Mail, Tafari was paddleboarding with an unidentified woman who also works for Obama when he fell off his paddleboard and tried to swim to shore. The woman...
Come on now, shouldn't she be identified on that? Huh? I'm just
Help. Sources told the Daily Mail that it was a Secret Service agent who called 911 from the Obama estate in Edgartown to report the incident.
Did I tell you that CDs around?
Release any details of the incident, and they were withholding the names of everyone involved. The initial call came in at 7:46 p.m. when police and the fire department responded to the report that a man had fallen off his paddleboard and went underwater. However, according to the Mail, Martha's Vineyard police left the reason for the emergency call blank in official logs from the day of the incident. Divers reportedly continued searching for Tafari into the night, and they finally located his body around 10 a.m. the next morning by using sonar. Several eyewitnesses said the Obamas were not at the scene when Tafari's body was recovered. However, they noticed several Secret Service agents. The authorities later determined that Tafari's drowning was an accident, and the police claimed there were no signs of foul play. However, many on social media are saying something's not adding up about the official account of Tafari's death. The lack of public information has sparked numerous viral theories, including those that claim Tafari was eliminated because he was writing a tell-all book on Obama, just weeks after Tafari drowned. Obama's old letters from the 80s resurfaced on the internet in which he admitted to fantasizing about sleeping with men daily. The letter resurfaced after Obama biographer David Garrow talked to Tablet magazine about his biography of Obama, Rising Star, The Making of Barack Obama. Garrow reveals that he interviewed over 1,000 people for his book, including Obama's ex-girlfriends Sheila Miyoshi Jagger and Alex McNair. They both showed him some private letters they received from Obama. Garrow revealed that one of the letters he obtained from Alex had a paragraph that was retracted. When Garrow asked Alex why she didn't want to show that part, she said it's about homosexuality. However, Garrow discovered that copies of the letters could be found at the Emory University archives. Emory didn't let Garrow take pictures of the letters, so Garrow sent his men to transcribe by hand the most important parts, including the paragraph about homosexuality mentioned by Alex McNair. Obama was 21 when he sent this letter to Alex. And here's what he wrote about his gay fantasies. In regard to homosexuality, I must say that I believe this is an attempt to remove oneself from the present. I make love to men daily, but in the imagination. My mind is androgynous to a great extent. I choose to accept that I am a man physically in life. It didn't take long before the letter went viral on social media. Many pointed out that the late Joan Rivers publicly stated that Obama was gay just weeks before she died. On June 30th, 2014, Joan was seen arriving at an NYC bookstore where she was set to officiate a gay wedding. When paparazzi asked her if America would ever elect a gay president, Joan said it already happened with Obama. Joan also claimed that Obama's wife, Michelle, is transgender. Weeks after Joan made these comments, she died suddenly during a routine throat procedure. The authorities later launched an investigation which produced multiple contradictory reports about her death. Returning to Obama's late chef, Tafari Campbell, many on social media are drawing parallels between him and Joan. Unconfirmed reports claim that Tafari was writing a tell-all book which would have possibly exposed more private details about the Obamas. One Twitter account claimed that publishing sources say Campbell was working on a recipe book with a twist when he drowned. Another user wrote that Tafari, who had worked for the Obamas for 15 years, was about to release a tell-all book. Among the odd details is the fact that Tafari supposedly drowned in shallow water despite being a good swimmer. The Daily Mail reported that the water where he drowned was just 8 feet deep, and that Tafari knew how to swim, previously shared Instagram videos of himself swimming laps. Meanwhile, some social media users also pointed out that Tafari isn't the only person who has died inexplicably in Obama's orbit. One Twitter account wrote, "Did you know that the woman who verified the authenticity of Obama's birth certificate, Loretta Fuddy, was the only person to die in a plane crash in Hawaii in 2013? Everyone else survived." Tafari's death has also drawn comparison to the death of Walter Sheeb, another former White House chef who worked for Bill and Hillary Clinton. In 2015, Sheeb was found dead after he went missing while hiking in New Mexico. While the circumstances of his death weren't immediately known, the autopsy later determined that he died by drowning. Fans are now saying there's definitely something suspicious about both of these cases. If the reports about Tafari Campbell writing a tell-all book are true, this casts even more doubt on claims his death was an accident. One fan tweeted, "Presidential chefs that drowned mysteriously. The Clintons' Walter Sheeb in 2015 and the Obama's Tafari Campbell in 2023. Nothing is a coincidence." Another person wrote, "So Obama's chef dies mysteriously, and then a letter comes out where Obama says he fantasized about gay sex. It's like House of Cards up in here. But let's hear your thoughts on all this."
See, everybody see that this boy got so much swagger. I'm like, well, do y'all know what swag means? You know what swag means, right? Huh? No, swag means secretly we are gay. They say, what his name is, Obama have all this swagger. You see? And like I said again, a lot of people using that word, yeah, I got swag, man, I got swagger, man. No, you don't, man, because all that shit comes from the penitentiary with SAG. Mm-hmm. Yeah, swag and sag. Cause look, wag your ass to sag their parents in jail to show they swagger. There it is. The QB that been using all the shit that these LB, ABCD people be making up and then throwing it out there and people jump on it. And don't jump on it to the point where they find out what it really is, and it's too late. They've been using it. So I'm glad I ain't been using it, man. They say you in the most wheelchair, but you got a lot of swag with you. I said, no, I don't, dog. I got no swag with me, buddy. I said, yeah, I dress sharp and shit like that, but I ain't got no swag, bro. What you gonna do this weekend, Will? You know yet? Okay. I'm seeing making all these moves of destruction, aliens and shit. I see all they really want to do is put people in fear because they know that believers, understanders, having faithers, and hopers soon as you put them under pressure of being in fear, they do all kinds of stupid shit. Yeah, they talking about they bringing the masses back. I'm like, one dude came in there and said, "Are y'all playing the game again?" I'm not playing. And the only way they can play the game on us is if we play it. But the fucked up thing about it is, this one here might not be a game, girlfriend. This one here, so they said, because think about it. They showed this lab that they found where they had the Wuhan, the coronavirus, the Ebola virus, the AIDS virus, and all that was found in the lab they found in Chinatown dealing with China. I'm like, the FBI and the CIA, the FBI and the CDC found. I'm like, y'all just trying to make y'all organization look like it's needed and wanted. Fuck y'all, because if the case is that this shit been going on as long as they saying all this shit, y'all been know about this shit. Y'all just letting this shit go through now because y'all got a moral, y'all got a reason why y'all doing this shit. Because all they doing is using they ace in the hole because they know that we trying to get rid of the FBI. Because, to be honest with you, what the fuck do we need the FBI for? I'm listening. We got 116,000 FBI agents, and we got 300,000 children missing. We got women and men being trafficked, and we got more fucking drugs coming in this bitch than ever. What the fuck are we paying ATF for, the FDA for, CDC for, FBI for, CIA for, conscious community for? And then they got a whole bunch of other agencies with the alphabet that I can't even explain to you how many it is. Because like I said again, I went and did my research on the shit, and I'm like, nah, I see why the fuck we in debt. Because the Democrat rats and Republican clowns are stealing shit. And then you got all these agencies that's they laundering money through, making money off of giving other people all type of contracts to do what they do. It's all nothing but a big old money laundering scheme on the motherfucking taxpayers. And the fucked up thing about the whole ordeal is, we don't have nobody to tell that this happened to us. Because the ones that you tell is the ones that do it to. What a catch-22. So besides all that, Jeff, how are you doing? Oh, man. Oh, and then the grandbaby, God, dog, she getting big. Well, she wasn't for the stay small anyway. Shit, I did. You did. Shit. I said she wasn't for the stay small anyway. I didn't. You didn't. You gotta grow up. So you gotta grow up with the right stuff nowadays. But you throwing in front of that motherfucking TV, you got that imbecile growing into being. And I was saying, boy, if I had a wife, I would play with that hospital and everything. Because I know that if I go in the hospital and be able to record what I want to record,
Explain America, and we have a blockbuster, earth-shaking report for you today about the Durham Report. So before we get started, I'm going to ask you to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they're really important, especially in times like these. Folks, the Durham Report has finally been released, and it is a damning, brutal condemnation of the conduct of the FBI, the Department of Justice. It implicates Hillary Clinton's campaign, a lot of things. It's so bad for the FBI. The FBI released a statement after it basically saying, we don't do that stuff anymore. God, we didn't.
We don't give a fuck if you don't do it no more. We gonna make sure you don't do it ever again. Fuck the FBI. We do not need the FBI. What do we pay the FBI for? When you look at, we have 116,000 FBI agents, but we have 300,000 children missing, and men and women being trafficked, and more drugs coming in the United States of America Corporation more than ever. What the fuck do we pay any of these agencies for? ATF, FDA, CDC, all of these agencies need to be investigated, audited, and then find out where the money went, and then a lot of these people need to go to jail, and these agencies need to be shut the fuck down because they're a waste of taxpayers' money. It is what it is, and it's time for us to stop being the guinea pigs to the elite assholes.
We don't do that stuff anymore. It found everything Donald Trump said pretty much was correct. And it was a massive hit job done for political purposes. The FBI lied to get press warrants.
What gives me tremendous hope, though, is although so many in my party, in this body, have put loyalty to Donald Trump ahead of their oath to the Constitution, the committee has interviewed scores of Republicans from around the country who, in fact, have shown the kind of tremendous
It literally was a coup against Donald Trump, given the heads up by
Republicans who were appointed by President Trump to post in the Department of Justice, Republicans who stood firm, Republicans who
created by Hillary Clinton, using almost $40,000 of our tax money to try to impeach Donald Trump with a lie that her and her legal lying lawyer made up. And we are supposed to just let it go like that? Hillary Clinton should have been put in jail when Donald Trump became president. Donald Trump's fault. Literally, it's Donald Trump's fault that everything is fucked up right now. Because if Donald Trump would have did what he said he was going to do and put Hillary Clinton in jail, Joe Biden would have never tried the bullshit that they did. They'd have been scared.
And testify before our committee. I invite them right now to let us know that we are glad to entertain whatever information they have as to what happened on January 6th. Some of them ran out of this building fearing for their life. So there's no question that something happened. And House Resolution 503 says absolutely we have to find the facts and circumstances as to what happened and make recommendations. And that's what we have to do. We have a constitutional power to issue subpoenas. If people do not follow subpoenas, we have the right to bring them before this body and recommend contempt and citation. And that's what they're doing. So that's what we're doing today. So it doesn't matter if they were a father, a mother, a sister, a brother, and children. If they break the law, they break the law. No one's above the law. And that's what we're trying to make. We asked them to subpoena them to come before the committee, and they chose not to come. And therefore they broke the law. And that's why we're here today. So, Mr. Speaker, as I mentioned when I testified before the Rules Committee, it's absurd that there should be any disagreement at all about why we're here for this contempt resolution. If you listen to the arguments from some of my friends on the other side, they have very little to say of substance of this matter. We hear excuses, we hear attacks about process, we hear scaremongering about select committee. Let me remind my colleagues, we've conducted over 830 interviews and depositions. And again, I invite anyone to come talk to us if they want to. Now, if for some reason they're reluctant or afraid, then I feel sorry for them. Our constitutional democracy was challenged on January 6th. We have to fix this. Over 200 years, we operated in complete freedom, and all of a sudden, this institution was attacked, and we have to fix that. We are the #1 democracy in the world, but we lead by example. Democrats are leading by example. The Select Committee is leading by example by bringing these two gentlemen who broke the law, who decided that it's better to deal with the law of Donald Trump rather than the Constitution of the United States of America. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank my colleagues, especially my friend from Wyoming, Ms. Chamber. I urge every member to support adoption of this resolution. Mr. Speaker, with that, I yield back the balance of my time.
The gentleman yields back.
Are your electric vehicles more green than your gas-powered cars? You may need to think twice about that after
to redacted.inc. We'll see you next time.
Tonight, an extreme weather triple threat. A string of tornadoes tearing across the suburbs of Chicago as a waterlogged New England braces for the possibility of even more flash flooding. The South also getting soaked, parts of Mississippi underwater, and that heat showing no signs of breaking out west. Well into triple-digit temperature.
Take 5, stay in your car because we're faster than you think.
Oil change is done.
People of Maui, shown such absolute incredible courage. That's not hyperbole. I want you to know, on behalf of the United States of America, all the nation, American people stand with you. On behalf of the United States of America, all the nation, American people stand with you.
I don't think that Biden knows that Hawaii is us. Like, dude, I can't take it anymore. Like, I can't, but I guess that was definitely worth the whole 10-day wait. And I think the funniest part is there's nobody behind the camera except the cameraman, obviously. Or women. Y'all not about to come after me? Oh no, man. Joe's like a running car, but nobody behind the wheel. Like, for real. But apparently, he didn't go to Maui just off of good faith and after hearing what took place. He went there kicking and screaming and basically touting the dude.
President Biden taking one day out of his second vacation this month to visit fire-ravaged Hawaii. He is set to touch down soon after facing intense criticism for dismissing questions about his administration's response during his first getaway at the beach just 2 weeks ago. Then the White House dodging on details on how Biden is spending those days off.
Of course.
I can't shed any light on how he's spending valuable quality family time out here, but certainly he's been engaged on a daily basis in confronting some of these extreme events we're seeing. The death toll in Maui rising to 114 people, with over 850 still missing. The cause is still unknown, while video suggests down power lines could have started the fires. That's not stopping Hawaii's governor from insisting it was climate change to blame.
So, just to be clear, when you're talking about global warming, are you saying that climate change amplified the cost of human error?
Yes, it did. There's no excuses to ever be made, but there are.
My moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, the burning, itching, the pain. Emerge Tremfya. With Tremfya, most people saw 90% clear skin at 16 minutes.
Sound like, you know,
There are finite resources sometimes in the moment.
now, before she even plays this video, I must say, I've seen this video and I'm reacting to this video, but it was completely out of context. The video, they of course advertised it as if it was a response to what's happening in Maui right now, but in fact, it wasn't.
Let water connect us and not divide us. Like, we can share it, but it requires true conversations about equity. How do we leave it better, live, coexist with the resources that we have?
An official has now been transferred to another position. And just one thing, if we could play the soundbite from the Maui resident who's just upset about where the president has been.
It's really affecting me because where is the president? Aren't we Americans too? Like, we're part of the United States, but why are we getting put in the back pocket? Why are we being ignored? Just come to our memorial and see the people there laying out and caught and see how he feels.
Jesse Waters, glad to have you here. What do you make of all of this?
Joe Biden's the only person that spends more time on vacation than I do. And it took him 5 days to address the deadliest wildfires in modern American history. It took him 6 days to address the Afghanistan evacuation. Again, he was on vacation for both. He had to be dragged kicking and screaming to Maui. He didn't want to go out and talk to the press about it because the press was going to ask him about Hunter Biden.
Of course.
So he doesn't even want an investigation into what caused these fires, and we know why. It's because there was incompetence all over this state. Sirens were not activated. This guy wants to share water with everybody except the fire. I'd share all the water with the fire. And then so they asked this Pharaoh farmer, this indigenous Hawaiian, hey, do you mind if we share some of this water with the fire department, or do you need it for your Pharaoh? That I think it was a 5-hour lapse when they could have gotten the water out there. This used to be an agricultural powerhouse, Hawaii. And then all of a sudden it became a tourist trap. And so they let all of these non-native grass species just go completely wild all over the island, completely mismanaged, and now the place is scorched. The power company doesn't spend a dime trying to clean up the underbrush for all the fallen power lines to catch fire to. And Biden comes out and the media comes out and they're going to blame global warming, Dana. Of course. They're talking about leading the witness. Did you see the woman from CBS say, what you're saying is, there's some dumb people in Hawaii managing this, but it's probably the fault of big oil, right? That's what we're doing here, because you can blame your incompetence on global warming, but global warming doesn't get to respond to that.
Right.
And everybody now just talks about global warming instead of all the massive screw-ups that have taken place on this poor island.
What about a global warming pass?
So, I'm glad you're back. A couple things. When you have a catastrophe or you have a disaster like this, and we remember when the shooting happened, the next shooting was Uvalde, and police showed up, and we got a bunch of conflicting stories, and we finally learned that it was incompetence, gross incompetence on the part of some, and even a lack of training. I don't know what they were doing there, but I think the focus on, even in that issue, the guns was the wrong thing at the outset. You got to rescue, you got to recover, you got to rebuild. There's a part of it, as that goes on, you figure out the things you could be doing very differently, or could have been done very differently. There are obviously serious shortcomings and dysfunctions that happen throughout this. I would caution everybody, whatever agenda they may have, let's show some restraint. Let's figure out, number one, have we recovered everyone? There are another 1,000 people that may be stranded still, but they may have not recovered. Two, let's figure out if something were to happen tomorrow, what have we learned from this to ensure that we don't have the type of human error that occurred this go around here. And finally, as it relates to other things, be it climate change or whatever issues may be, let's deal with that last. We still got a lot of destruction capacity. In defense of the president, I thought it was wrong at times when Democrats went after President Bush, when Democrats would go after President Trump, even after the COVID. We think the president should not be. I don't think the president should have visited here until now. Where I agree with those who have been critical, I was surprised the president didn't show more empathy on his statements about this. But he will visit, seeing the First Lady will visit, and hopefully they won't take away from resources that have been dedicated to trying to find even those that are still stranded.
Judge, I'll mention this and then correspond on whatever you want, but the governor said that more than 1,800 people who lost their homes, they're having to live in hotel rooms for the foreseeable future. That could be